Think of the crunch as a baby brother to the sit-up. We're primarily still using similar muscle groups, mostly those abdominals. We're kind of trying to eliminate our hip flexors being involved in here. The main difference in this movement is we're not coming all the way up onto the tailbone at the top. We're keeping that tailbone and that low back pressed into the floor throughout this movement. This can be a very good movement as a precursor to your sit-ups. If you're not able to do sit-ups yet, it can be a great movement to kind of progress into the ability to do those sit-ups. Even if you can perform sit-ups, crunches can be a great exercise to add in to isolate those abdominals a little bit more and to kind of burn them out once we are tired from doing those sit-ups. So, starting position, very similar that you would for a sit-up. Down on our back. We're going to have those feet flat on the floor for this one. The variations in our arm and our leg positioning for this does not play as much of a role as they do for those full sit-ups. So for this one, we're going to have those feet flat on the floor, legs bent here. Arm positioning, though, does play a slight role. You can either have those arms straight on up overhead, it'll make it slightly easier, or you can have them down, resting on the outside of the head just lightly with those fingertips. We're going to push that low back into the floor, pulling that belly button in towards the spine as we peel those shoulder blades up off the ground, engaging those abs, and then controlling that downward movement. So squeeze, resist as you come down. Just like with the sit-up, one of the biggest mistakes is using those hands, interlacing those fingers behind the head, or even just resting them on the back of the head and leading this movement with the chin, kind of pulling on the head with the arms. Instead, we want to focus on the engagement in the abs, and that's what begins this movement. We are pulling that upper body up off the ground with the abs, not pushing up on that upper body. So really squeeze as you pull up. The other biggest mistake seen on this one, just like with those sit-ups, is not controlling that descent. So just very quick, up and down, flying through the movement. Remember, on abdominal exercises, almost more than any, focusing and going in a controlled fashion is going to produce better results. So come on up, squeeze at the top, control down, squeeze, control down. Once you get the hang of that movement and that mind-muscle connection, thinking about that squeeze as you come up and that control down, your pace can pick up. You don't have to do these super slow. However, when you're first starting out, I really want you to focus on thinking about those muscles being worked so that when you pick up the pace, we're not cheating. We're still focusing on pulling with those abdominals and controlling on that descent.